Good morning, children. Today in Social Science and Economics, in class 9, we'll take up the chapter Poverty as a Challenge. In this, we'll try to understand why there is so much of poverty in our country, and we have poverty both in the urban as well as rural areas. Then we'll also be able to understand what are the indicators for poverty, that is social exclusion, vulnerability. Then the poverty line, that means how are we able to define who are the people who are actually poor. Then we have the National Sample Survey Organization, which is the organization to estimate and tell us the amount of people, the number of people who are poor in a country. Then we have interstate disparities, that is, all states, some states there is more poverty than the other states also. Then what are the causes of poverty and what are the anti-poverty measures in India, which is, one is economic growth of course and the other is a targeted anti-poverty programs. So it's always an effort of the government and the people of the country to try to reduce the level of poverty in a country. So we'll take up now poverty as a challenge. Poverty is actually, what does it mean? It is a condition in which a person lacks financial resources and essential commodities to enjoy a minimum standard of life. That is, we all have basic needs, food, clothing and shelter. But beyond that also there is education and there are so many other things that we need. So that is, when we have a job, we are able to earn money, and by means of that money we are able to purchase the essential commodities or essential things that we need in life. But there are some people who are poor and are not able to fulfill even those basic needs. So it is the most difficult challenge faced by people in India after the independence. And who are these people? They may be the landless laborers in villages who don't have any land, and they are depending on the farmers who employ them when they need their services, and when they don't need, then they don't employ them. So they are the people whose employment is not regular. Then in the cities we have the slum dwellers, who are towns and cities both. Then in the cities we have these daily wage workers who are working at construction sites and many other places, and beggars. According to the estimate of reports of 2011 to 2012, there were about 27 crore people who were poor in India. Now, how do we get to know? There are social scientists who analyze poverty from many aspects. The two main, of course, are income and consumption. That is income, that is when we are employed, we earn an income or we earn wages, and consumption is that with that money, the things that we purchase, the commodities that we purchase, so that is a consumption. Now, besides income and consumption, there are other factors also, from how the people suffer. That is, one is poor level of literacy. Among the poor people, we generally see that all of them are not literate, because sometimes parents are not able to afford, sometimes they are not aware. So that is one factor. Then another is malnutrition. Malnutrition, that means naturally when they are poor, they are not able to provide a balanced meal to the family, to the children. So that makes it difficult for them to resist to disease. That means they are more prone to fall sick because physically they are weak. Then another factor is a lack of access to health care. That means that either it is like in some of the villages where healthcare facilities are not available, or on account of their poverty they cannot afford treatment. Then lack of job opportunities. This is, or we can say, unemployment. Unemployment is a very big challenge in our country. So many people, educated as well as illiterate, are facing this problem of unemployment. And then we have, they also have a lack of access to sanitation and safe drinking water. We talk of clean drinking water because we are affected or our health is affected if we do not have safe and clean drinking water, and sanitation problem also. So these are the ways of how the poor people suffer. And we see that poverty is found both in rural areas and urban areas. In India, we say that earlier we used to follow the caste system. So that played a very important role because people were prevented from enjoying equal facilities. They did not have, and then these people live in poor surroundings. They do not generally live like people living in slums. And next to them only we have posh colonies, we have buildings where all the facilities are available. So it is important to understand. Now, through an example, if we see that in both in urban and rural areas, if we take up the example of, say, in the urban area, there's this person, Ram Saran, who is a daily wage laborer in a flour mill working in Jharkhand. He earns about 1500 rupees per month when he is employed. He supports his family of 6 persons, and he also sends money to his old parents. His wife is working, his son is also working, but the 4 children that they have, they are not going to school. They cannot attend school. The entire family lives in a one-room house. It is a rented house in the outskirts. The children are undernourished. They have very few clothes to wear or footwear, and they have no access to health care. So this is one example that we see in the urban areas, how the people they remain poor. Then we have in the rural areas, we have an example of Lakha Singh. He is a landless laborer in a small village near Meerut in Uttar Pradesh. He does odd jobs. Sometimes he gets work on the field or whatever that the farmers ask him to, and he earns about 50 rupees a day. Sometimes he gets food grains, or sometimes he gets cash. So it can be either ways. He is not literate, and his family of 8 people, they live in a hut which gets damaged every time there are rains. In the village they are living over there. They have no access to health care. They can't afford to buy new clothes or even the basic essential commodities that are required. So we see that both in urban areas and the rural areas, the people are affected adversely, that they suffer both in the urban and the rural areas. Now, if we see vulnerability. Now, what is vulnerability? Vulnerability means where you are exposed to being affected or harmed because of poverty. And who are these people? There's certain people, certain communities, one can say, who remain poor. They may be members of the backward caste or low caste. They may be individuals like widows or specially abled people who have some problems. And they generally have these problems of education, job, health. There is more risk to them in case of natural disaster. And they face a lot of risk at the time of a natural calamity. This is the group of people that we call as vulnerable groups. That means they are the most impacted. They are the most exposed to any of these issues. Now, how do we know that who are the people who are living below poverty line and who are the people who are above the poverty line? Now, poverty line is actually an imaginary line. It is used by any country so that we are able to find out the poverty, that what is the level of poverty in the country, and this is not the same everywhere. That means it varies from time to time, place to place, and country to country. So this is an imaginary line by means of which we are able to define and find out that who are the people living below poverty line. That is, they are poor, their finances are low, and they are not able to have a decent or a proper standard of life. Now, the common method, how do we find out, is income or consumption level. That is income. That is the earning by means of the job, or when you are employed, you earn an income. So one method would be that, and the other one is the consumption level. Now, naturally, our consumption means the commodities that we consume, commodities or services they may be. Now, that consumption will naturally depend on the income. So, people are considered poor if their income or consumption is found below the minimum level. Then we say when they are not able to fulfill the basic needs. So that is when we say that they are living below poverty line. That is the minimum level. They are not earning that much. They are not consuming that much also. So therefore, the people who are lacking these basic needs, they are unable to fulfill the basic needs. We call them as people living below poverty line. And how do we know? There is an organization. This organization that is estimating the poverty line. This is known as the NSSO, that is National Sample Survey Organization. That is NSSO. N stands for national, S for sample, the second S for survey, and O for organization. And this was established in 1950 under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation of the Government of India. So this is the organization, that is the NSSO, that tells us about the poverty line and the status of people and how many people do we have below poverty line. Thank you.